Lesson 65, Circumference and Pi. Circumference and pi have to do with a circle. So we're going to name parts of a circle and talk about circles. So a circle with a C is a shape where all the points on it are equidistant from the center. So I know you guys have seen a circle before. Here we go. Here's a circle. Pretty good. Okay, the center point is found right in the middle of the circle. And every point on the circle is the same distance away from that center. So from the center to the circle is a distance, and we call that distance the radius. If we were to go straight through the circle, through the center and through the center to the other side, that length is 2 radii, and it's called the diameter. And it's made up of 2 radii. Then the distance around the circle is called circumference. So if we find out how long that this drawing is, what do you say? How long this, I guess how far around it is, that's called the circumference.
So do you just like do 3.14?
No, pi is written as pi, and 3.14 is an approximation. So I will try to drill into you. So you'll hear me say it all the time. Pi is a number. It's just pi. Okay?
Yeah, but to find the circumference, and you just times it by the diameter.
Yes, you times pi. So let me explain here. We have, if you take the length, circumference, of any circle and divide it by the diameter, you will always get the number pi for any circle. So pi is a number. And we write it
Divide by the diameter?
as this Greek letter pi. This is a Greek letter. Yours is different. Pi is, this is what yours says, approximately 3.1415. The sign for pi is this Greek letter pi, and pi was discovered by the Greeks, hence the Greek letter. So when we write pi, we want to say it's approximately. So we don't use the symbol equals, because pi does not equal 3.14. It's approximately 3.14, or you could use 22/7. That is a good approximation for pi, but it is not exactly pi. So if we want to find the circumference, we can multiply these two numbers together and that'll give us our circumference. So we like to have a formula. We just take the diameter times pi.
So if you multiply pi in the diameter, you get the circumference.
Yes. So you can find this distance by taking diameter times the number pi. Or since the diameter is 2 radii, you can do 2 times the radius times pi. And you always see it written 2 pi r, but I don't understand why. I think you should do 2r pi. Because pi is a number and usually want to leave it at the end.
2 radius pi.
Yeah.
2 radius times pi. So, but this is the way you'll see it written in places. I like it like this. So you know you take 2 times the radius and then multiply by pi, because sometimes you want to have this number written this way in your answer. You'll want to have the Greek letter pi in your answer.
So you don't want to write the number.
Not always. I will show you examples of what they will look like, of what your problems might look like. So let's say we have a circle, just draw a small circle, has a diameter of 30 inches. Usually it will tell you what to use for pi. So a lot of times it'll say use 3.14 for pi. Does 3.14 equal pi? No, we're just approximating, okay? So we want to do our formula, diameter times pi. So we'll take what they told us to use. We're just approximating 3.14 times the diameter, which is 30. I hang the 0 off, so I can just put a 0. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 plus 1 is 4. 9, 2 decimal places. So it's 94.2 inches. Yes, here.
Would you take the 0, like the 10 from the 30, and make 3.14 31.4?
Yeah. So if you wanted to take the 0 off and move the decimal over once. Yeah, so you're timesing by 10 first and then times 3. You can do that. Yep. Here's another example. And we're going to say the diameter is 14 feet.
No, it's funny. And see if it is pi.
This one says use 22/7 for pi. Again, is 22/7 equal to pi? No, we're just approximating. So our circumference is diameter times pi. So we take our 14 feet times 22/7. I think they ask us to use 22/7 because 14 is divisible by 7. So we can just cancel.
For me, it's 14.
And 2 times 22 is 44. So our circumference will be 44 feet. And then the last example, we're going to be given a radius 10 centimeters, and we're going to leave pi as pi. So in other words, are we going to approximate?
No,
We're getting the exact answer,
just gonna use a symbol.
and we're going to use the symbol. I think this is the easiest way to find circumference, but it's the hardest for students because you have this Greek letter pi in your answer and you feel like maybe it's not right, but it is. Okay, so let me explain. We're going to use this formula up here because it has the radius and not the diameter. So we'll do 2 times the radius times pi. So we plug in 2 times 10, because that's the radius, 10 centimeters. And then we just put our pi right there, the symbol, because it didn't say use anything else. So we're just plugging in pi. So then we multiply 2 times 10 centimeters, we get 20 pi centimeters. Now we had to move our label to the end because pi is a number and it's part of the number part. So 20 pi centimeters is a circumference, and that would be your answer. Okay, so you don't have to do any multiplying, you don't substitute an approximation for pi, you just take the diameter, write pi. Yep, you just write 10 times 2 because the diameter is 2 radii together. Yep. Okay, lesson's over. Let's do some practice.